It's time to meet the queer rebels who outsmarted Hitler. Hi there, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to This Week in Queer History, where we celebrate queer moments and icons that I wish I had known about as a young gay kid growing up in conservative America. This week, we're exploring Claude Cahun and Marcel Moore, two remarkable artists whose groundbreaking work challenged gender norms and whose courageous resistance to Nazi occupation used wit, art, and relentless creativity. Get ready, because these two were revolutionary spitfires.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
Claude Cahun, born Lucy Renee Matilda Schwab in 1894, grew up in a wealthy Jewish family in Nantes, France. Her early life wasn't easy. Her mother struggled with mental illness, which led Cahun to be raised by her grandmother, who nurtured her and allowed her intellectual curiosity to flow into theology, philosophy, and mythology. At 17, she met Suzanne Malherbe, later known as Marcel Moore, sparking a lifelong romantic and artistic partnership. Moore, born in 1892, studied at the Fine Arts Academy in Nantes and quickly became an essential collaborator. In 1917, their parents married, technically making them stepsisters, adding another quirky twist to their already unconventional relationship. Together in their early 20s, they moved to Paris, diving headfirst into the surrealist scene. Cahun adopted an androgynous appearance captured vividly in her self-portraits. She famously said, "Masculine? Feminine? It all depends on the situation. Neuter is the only gender that always suits me." Their iconic images didn't just confront traditional gender roles, they shattered them entirely. And this was the 1920s, over 100 years ago. Marcel Moore, the more introverted of the two, was a graphic designer whose ornate Japanism-inspired illustrations graced books and newspapers. But Moore was not just behind the scenes. Recent scholarship highlights her as an active co-creator. Many of Cahun's celebrated portraits were collaborative, with Moore sometimes literally visible through the shadow cast across the photographs. Their Parisian home became a hub for avant-garde icons like André Breton and Sylvia Beach, which nurtured a space for radical creativity. The duo published groundbreaking works like Aveux non avenus, pardon my French, it means cancelled confessions. And this combined Moore's intricate collages with Cahun's compelling prose. It explores identity, sexuality, and societal boundaries. World War II dramatically shifted their artistic activism. In 1937, they relocated to Jersey, one of the Channel Islands just off the coast of northern France. Their resistance against the Nazi occupation turned into fearless, playful defiance. Cahun and Moore created and distributed really clever anti-Nazi propaganda, notes that were disguised as poetic criticisms. They were placing them in soldiers' pockets, into cars, and throughout public spaces, all under the pseudonym The Soldier with No Name. One of their really amazing acts of defiance was hanging a banner in a church that read, "Jesus is great, but Hitler is greater, because Jesus died for people, but people die for Hitler." This radical protest showed their sharp, subversive wit. Their artistic rebellion was as much psychological warfare as it was political resistance. But these daring acts led to their arrest in 1944, and facing death sentences, they still continued their resistance, even in prison. At her trial, Cahun humorously told the German judge that they'd need to shoot her twice, as a resistor and as a Jew. And this made the judge and everyone in the courtroom, even her enemies, laugh, and this possibly gave them a little bit more time. But in 1945, before they were put to death, they were liberated. And even though they were freed, Cahun's health suffered from being in prison, and this all contributed to her passing in 1954. For decades, their legacy remained hidden, overshadowed by male contemporaries. And it wasn't until the late 20th century, when their contributions were rediscovered, that people started to recognize them as early pioneers of gender fluidity, surrealist photography, and queer activism. Ooh, I love these two. They were spitfires. Not only were they incredible artists and brilliantly creative, but they were true activists, showing up and fighting oppression with whatever tools they had. The way that they produced witty flyers and secretly mocked Nazis, it was really brave and so powerful. This queer joy mixed with irreverence, it rings so true for me right now, especially today as we're pushing back against fascist forces and social injustice. Cahun and more remind me that each of us has something unique that we can do to fight oppression. It's our creativity. Whether through art, humor, writing, social media, we have the tools to confront and change oppressive forces. Cahun and Moore's activism wasn't just political, it was deeply personal and profoundly human. We live in a time where negative news and doom scrolling can feel overwhelming, but thinking of Cahun and Moore, I'm reminded that our strength lies in community and creativity. We as queer individuals and allies, we can harness our collective talent and our courage and use them as powerful tools of resistance. So let's take inspiration from these two incredible icons and find innovative, impactful strategies to stand up, fight back, and resist in our own unique and creative ways. Thanks for joining me as we celebrate these two incredible humans. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you want more uplifting queer history, watch this video popping up right over here. And don't forget about the mailing list. Link is down in the description. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history.